doing that with his hand, and there's nothing there. He just does it with his hand. He strokes an imaginary pussy. I've done that myself from time to time. I do like a bit of a sex scandal though, because it just makes my job easier. Because the first time it happened for me when I took over the late night show, it was kind of fallow for a little while and then nobody got into trouble. And then the first sex scandal that I heard about was about 4 months into the show. Kevin Costner got into a sex scandal. Do you remember that? No one ever does. It's amazing to be able to. It tells me two things. One, Kevin Costner has a great fucking publicist. And two, none of you bastards was watching my show in the first year. I can't say as I blame you, but never mind. Well, what happened was this. Here was the Kevin Costner scandal. This is true. This actually happened. What happened was he was in St Andrews in Scotland. It's golf related again. He was in St Andrews in Scotland, and he was getting a massage at the Royal and Ancient Hotel, and apparently he asked for a happy ending during the massage. I know. Terrible thing to do. I mean, who the hell goes to the Royal and Ancient Home of Golf and thinks, I wonder if I can get my 3-wood polished here? I mean, who the hell does that? And by the way, this was not just on a boys' golfing trip. He was on his honeymoon. Ah, right, good. Now we're happy to judge him. Up until that point, we were going to let it slide. His honeymoon! This is true, this really happened, and apparently he asked the masseuse for a happy ending, and I'm thinking, Kevin, are you out of your fucking mind? This is Scotland. The masseuse is Scottish. If I could get a Scottish woman to give me a hand job, I would never have fucking immigrated. What the hell is wrong with Anyway, so he got into this terrible trouble, and he was, and I heard about it, and I thought, well, this entitles me to have some fun at his expense, so I did on the show. I wasn't even that bad about it. I just kind of went, I punned on his movie titles. I think I said Lap Dances with Wolves or something like that. Field of Creams, I might have said that. I didn't say that. I should have said that, but people will come, Ray. I know. Probably right. Anyway, so I had some fun about it on the show, and then, that's that night, go to the next night, and, the puppets or whatever the fuck happens the next night. And I forget all about it, and then about 3-4 weeks later, I get invited to this big Hollywood party. Now, I don't normally go to big Hollywood parties because I'm not normally invited to big Hollywood parties. But I go and I get introduced to Kevin Costner. And I'd forgotten all about him, but he had not. And he's like, and I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, I said, well, sorry. Oh, come on, man. He's like, that's out of line. And I'm like, oh, come on, Kevin, you asked for a hand job in your honeymoon. He's like, that's not the point. I said, it kind of is the fucking point. But I felt terrible, actually, because he's a nice guy, Kevin. He's not a bad guy. And I just thought, oh, God, this is awful. See, up till that point, I never thought of celebrities having televisions. But they do, and they watch them, and they get very touchy if you talk about them. And you can annoy them without even knowing you're doing it. I mean, I got into terrible trouble with Kate Winslet, of all people, because we heard about this because the bookers of the show they called her agent and said, will Kate be on the show? And the agent said, Kate will never be on the show after what Craig said about her. And I'm like, I can't even remember talking about her. And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't really talking about her. What had happened was I was talking about the movie Titanic, which I had loved. I really enjoyed that movie, and I just had a slight problem at the end of the movie. You know, when the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, who I've always loved, he's a fantastic actor. Fat then, beard, no beard. Come on, he's awesome, isn't it? But that scene in the water at the end where she's on the door and he's in the water and he's like, I'm dying! And she's like, yes, you are. It's terribly sad. And he's like, I'm dying! Yes, oh, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, come on, there's room in that door for two fucking people. This is a Titanic door. This door was built in the shipyards of Belfast. We're not talking about a fucking piece of plywood ship from Home Depot here. This is a big fucking oak door. Mexican families come to America on doors like that. It's a huge door. You put a fucking engine on this door and go up and down the fucking waterway there. It's a big door. Anyway, in the heat of the moment, I said, okay, come on, move over, you fat bitch. Now, I don't mean she's fat. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. I don't think she's fat. She's not fat. It was just like, I didn't mean it like that. I was just like, you know, I was like, oh, move over, but she's not fat. And I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. So I called the agent myself. I said, look, this is out of line. I didn't mean that. I was just talking on the show. I don't have a script. I'm sorry. Look, get her come on the show. I'll apologise on air. I'll do it anything. It's ridiculous. I'll wear a fat suit. I'll wear a wig. It doesn't matter. I'll do it. I just feel awful. So the agent, you know, says, give me 5 minutes, I'll call her. And he calls her and he calls me back and he said, no, she says no. I said, fine, she's a fat bitch then.